Hello and welcome back. I think I slept about 3 hours yesterday.
Congratulations.
I blame these guys because we were playing CS. I'm like, I'm tired, man. I'm tired. And then like one more game, like, oh, okay, fine. So I got home at 1 a.m. I had to get up at 6 a.m. and I think I slept about 3 hours. So
You look great though.
we lost our last game 14-16. We had our we had a guy on our team whose username was Lil D Girl 69. Yeah, I don't know. It was special. It was a very weird thing to have at midnight in California. And he was from East Coast. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning for him. Anyway, if you're just joining us, it is 265 days since we could draw on a map. That's what this is. This is a daily counter set to GMT time that counts every day that goes by since we've last been able to draw on the map. It's important.
Why GMT though?
Well, because GMT is the reference time for the whole world.
Okay, fair enough.
To answer your question, although some people refer to it as UTC now, which is kind of the let's not make it about the British, so now it's like UTC, but it's GMT. If you go to Greenwich in London, there's actually I think there's a line.
Yep.
Which shows you the mean time line or something like that.
That's true. My friend took me there like a year ago. It's like, how about this?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
This is great.
It's pretty cool. My first time in a helicopter, actually, I flew over Greenwich, and I really felt like I was in a tin can and I was going to die. But anyway, we have Avangar they had a great lead on train. Mousesports went for the double force buy, which is very rare. Outside of situations where you're further back than they were, you wouldn't expect it at that kind of score. So we thought like, ooh, are they tilted? Is it like what's going on? But it was just complete confidence. I think it was basically moving towards a full buy with everything they wanted to have. So they were confident in their own game and they delivered in droves, in spades, if you will. And now we move on to the second map, which is Inferno, and Mirage is the third one. So this, I believe, is the pick of Avangar. I'm pretty sure.
It is.
So it's time to turn it around. They're pretty good on Inferno. There's lots of little details, specifically on Inferno, to watch with them. I think on every map at this point, of the ones that they play, that is true, but mostly for Inferno. Dan, you picked Avangar, no?
No,
you picked Mousesports.
Connor
picked Avangar. So I said it was even, but it wasn't. It's just him. It's just him. So are you still feeling confident, Connor? Is this expectant? Were you expecting 3 maps?
No, I thought they were going to win train, to be honest, so not as confident.
Okay. Connor's not as confident as he was.
After that 13-6 drop in the
As
ball.
he once. Yeah. Interesting times for sure. So it's doable. It is doable. And the game is going to be live shortly, so we'll soon find out if they are actually going to do it. I was impressed by Mousesports on that CT side. After double force buy, I thought they were donezo, but they had different ideas. Carrigan will be the grenade man for Mousesports. We've got a P250 onto Rops. He's a raid boss. Inferno raid boss. We don't see this often enough, but here it is.
No kits for Avangar. That's interesting. Well, arch pressure, but the bomb's going towards B. And there's Buster to spot this, so it's a B split on the pistol round. Don't see this super commonly. It's going to be quite interesting to see if... Oh, James cannot hold on, though. That's a beautiful timing from Mousesports. They have nailed this one. They've outpositioned their opponents enormously. There we go.
Yeah, that timing was pretty good by Mousesports. As you said before, we don't see too many B splits, especially on pistol round, because obviously USPs have a way longer range than the Glock. But if you time it just perfectly, like how Mousesports timed it, you catch CT spawn person off guard, you catch the B guys kind of in a rough spot where you have to look towards CT spawn and banana after that. So it's really good spacing and timing from Mousesports to make it work. Everything just went really nice.
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 Mac 10, UMP. Aggression.
And interesting to see by Vanguard, they're not force buying on the second round. We've seen this on many maps of, like, throughout these last couple weeks, CT's been almost automatically buying on the second round. But I've noticed, I think it's the second time that I've seen a Vanguard not force buy on second round of Inferno. Interesting. interesting tactical approach.
Setting up for grenades towards B, but not personnel towards B. They'll just have somebody spotting. I love the pop flash. They're waiting for the footsteps, waiting for the sound cues, but there are none. They are out of position now.
I feel like that's so much in the meta and has been for quite some time. You just like throw that CT smoke and it has worked way too well here. It has worked so well. At this point, Avangar should just stay on the B bomb side, honestly, because there's no point really going towards A. They'll just give money away. They'll just die, and they don't have anything. So I think this is one of those spots where just don't give the frags away, and that can be really useful as well, because even if you ignore the component which is the monetary reward for the T side and denying that, there is also denying just kills. Like there's an emotional response that's very positive when you're just running around getting kills. You feel good. But if you starve your opponent of kills, even if you're losing the rounds, that can actually have a good impact, because it can have. There's this feeling where you're not giving them anything for free. Like everything, you have to work really hard for every single kill, and that is a different feeling. I think it makes. It's hard to quantify this. Like Eric, do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think for sure that, if you're handing someone 10 kills in the first 2 rounds, it's going to give that person a supreme confidence in the rest of the half. They're going to be feeling good. They're going to be peaky. They might re-peak just because they have, that level, that surge of confidence in the early in the game. And there are a lot of players out there like that. If they start good, they finish good.
Yeah, people are affected by their stats more than they might think, honestly. But that aside, the topic of a podcast in of itself, but that aside, apartments will be taken by Mousesports. They're actually going for a balcony burst in this position. James there. Oh no! Chris has whiffed the flash. It still works though. James has to turn around. There's more flashes where that came from. And it's still going to work out. Everything's fine. That was a scary moment because James, that was a flash for James. He was standing there ready to spray everyone in the face. But instead, he died looking at a wall.
I'm surprised that Avangar didn't have a better stack towards the A bomb side. We've seen this a lot lately when teams come on the first buy round on T side and you still have like MAC 10s or UMPs. We've seen a lot of hall pop, a lot of hall presence as a trend. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more double pit setups or pit site crossfires in some way on these third rounds when you've like lost pistol or whatnot.
Quick shot, and Kikert will save something. Not a great start for Avangar. Well, I don't know what the exact parameters for Ninjas in Pyjamas are to win if Avangar lose immediately. So I'll make no assumptions, but let's see. Very early in this game of Inferno. They'll keep the money together for the most part. Fitcher's gone for a full force. 3,100 spent from him. An exchange of grenades. I like to hold from the half wall as a CT. But it's hard with randoms.
I know, flashbang just for you.
Yeah, playing...
That
I hate playing Inferno in pugs because it's very difficult to like communicate with people if you play Banana. It's... people overplay or underplay it. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
and
it's hard to have synergy with a random person.
And yeah, and surviving is such a key factor, but also being under pressure is a key factor. And it's difficult to find people that just understand how to do that with you.
Knowing when to fall back together.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
1 minute on the clock for Mousesports to continue their oppression of Avangar. James looking for that info, while Chris J got some deep grenades. Kerrigan, is that a necessary risk? That is the question
He's made it look like a lurk towards the B-bomb site, so it seems like it's worked out perfectly here. I'm not sure if that was the key factor in them deciding that, oh, okay, it's definitely going to be B. But it kind of worked out that way. The rotation came in. It was an effective fake.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, he knows there's risk in doing that, which is why I say that I'm not saying like this is good, this is bad, because you don't always know what the person's intentions are. Although it might look somewhat ridiculous considering the situation.
I don't think it's worth yet. It's too risky maybe early because Avangar really don't have a feel of how Mousesports are playing this map. And so if you see a smoke, you're probably going to post up a lot behind the smoke until, unless teams throw a bunch of fakes or maybe they're just, tossing smoke like 4 or 5 rounds in a row. Okay, let me over-rotate, like stuff like that. So, I mean, I guess at that point, it's mind games. Are you going to watch smoke? You're going to over-rotate, stuff like that. But it is risky, as James says, and is it worth the risk? I don't know.
You're always a bit lighter on your feet as well when you're in a half buy, because you want to have everyone in the right position. You're more willing to run from site to site. So
yeah,
I think fakes in those terms, maybe they expect higher value than against the full Baron. But now we have more grenades. This has been one of the problems for Avangar, is they haven't been able to take initiative at the beginning of these rounds. And here we'll see them defending Banana really effectively. Only with 2 players as well. They've got the bomb. That's a big problem. Mousesports, they've given up the bomb here. They've committed it so deep. And that's surprising. That's very surprising. Unless you're going to rush the B-bomb site, there's no real reason for you to take the bomb all the way up there, especially if you have 2 players towards the apartment side of the map, players that can swing through T steps later to grab the bomb if you are intending to go B. Because this was going to be a slow round. I don't think they were intending to run a super fast... Like, if you got 2 players on the other side of the map, I mean, no fake is going to be that fast. So it says to me that that was just a mistake to have the bomb up that far. But they have reclaimed it, but they're 2 versus 5. Here comes the flank.
Nice Avangar from Sanji. And that is everybody surviving for Avangar for their first round, which is exactly what you want to see from them. And now it is about consistency. Maybe Avangar will find some comfort at this point. And we'll see if James rotates his position with the AWP. We know he likes some Banana. He's got a spawn for Banana, but he's facing the other way. Will it be towards short?
Oh.
Will it be a boost? Perhaps. Let's look down mid position.
Meaty.
No. A normal setup from Avangar. Holding the gap as time progresses. Maybe he'll focus on the boiler position. Grenades towards tree, and Chris J will be deleted. And Avangar continue their pursuit. Now Carrigan will be heard exiting the position. So that is often an untradeable frag, and things go from bad to worse for Mousesports, trying to catch Avangar off guard, but they're ready for it.
Yeah, I think Woxic was really trying to potentially punish James by getting a really deep position quickly on mid, so he could catch the angle of James peeking from boiler with the AWP if he was to run all the way around. However, that did not pan out. As you say, like, none of these pushes have panned out whatsoever for Mousesports. And that shows the strength of Avangar. Avangar very tight on the CT side. We saw this on Train. We saw very tight setups where there's always assistance. They always have a game plan behind the way that they set up their defense. And they're always pretty confident. It's hard to catch them off guard. I think we're going to have to see some pretty strong defaults for Mousesports to force Avangar back, as you would normally expect an Inferno match to work. There is also potential. I like what we're seeing here from Mousesports. Give up Banana for the beginning, let Avangar toss all their utility, come back in the mid rounds, retake Banana then with the utility that you have saved, not investing it early on Banana, but instead you go and invest it mid rounds. But ooh, might actually just get a straight A set piece here, trying to perhaps catch players out of position, but Avangar are in position, and they're doing the damage.
tight choke point. The trades will go back and forth, but they'll eventually be won by Avangar. Maybe not enough damage done by Mousesports in that particular round. 2 might not be enough, although it's not too shabby either. That's good for about $12,000 of damage. See the crossfire, the bait and switch from Avangar. James eventually going down. Nice cleanup from Fitch. 3K from the middle of the site. And very quickly, we've got a string of rounds for Avangar, 3 in a row. And they've put Mousesports on eco. We've already look at the money on Avangar already at this point. They've got about an average of $6,000-7,000, and Mousesports they've got a butcher buy, the 5 Deagles, looking for the meat shot. So there's more opportunity for Avangar to really secure their economy in this half, and that's a great way to continue.
And a quick note about that previous round: Mousesports are trying to punish Avangar for playing 3 banana at the early timings of the round, but it didn't really matter because Avangar just seems to be pretty ready. They had 4 players towards A somehow as that hit was happening, so very fast rotation
I was going to point out that after Mousesports left the banana, one of the Vanguard players pushed down. So Vanguard feeling very confident, even though they're down 4 rounds at the start of the half, not shying away from the fight, still trying to take map control and playing, you know, the basics of this map. You want to have good banana control, you know, either T or CT side if possible, because it's such a strong position and you're able to over-rotate 4A. You're able to fast flank if you have the right amount of people. So Mousesports maybe have to have a little more control over banana before they try to decide these A takes.
4-4. Avangar winning 4 rounds of elimination. I think the lack of bomb plants in this half is more telling than all the defuses in the other half, at least traditionally speaking, because there was comfort for the CTs in those bomb plants, whereas there will be no comfort in the way Mousesports are losing these rounds. 4 versus 4. They have banana. They've got Rops just keeping people honest towards the A bomb site. Very far back position. And there's a 2-man setup from Avangar in the apps. A crossfire. Rops is quite notorious for his apartments play, so you do wonder the lack of Rops so far. They will still leave 1 person towards B, which is very interesting. But if ultimately they've made the right play, because here come Mousesports.
Yeah, such a strong setup. James, oh, wow, okay, that's interesting. Sanji is supposed to sort of fall on his sword there, get a kill, but he tries to back away, gets traded. That's not how this was supposed to go. James now under a lot of pressure, has to drop the smoke. They know he's there. The spray through the smoke from Frozen to take him out as Fitch trays it towards Boiler and Quad, and that's going to drop the bomb. That wastes a lot of time here for Mousesports. Fitch straight through this Molotov. That's a beautiful play. He dies for it, but look at what he's done. He's set up Keycut to finish off the round. That is an excellent call to run through that Molotov.
Yeah, very good play by Vanguard. That hall setup he was talking about. Rops, known for being halls, known for 11 to be in the pit. And so just who's going to spam the halls 1 minute in the round? Nobody. So it's a really good setup. Fortunately for Sanji, as you said, Dan, he's supposed to be a one-and-done kind of kill in that spot, but he caught him backpedaling. And he's dead.
Oh, beautiful from James. Carrigan trying to punish a grenade throw perhaps, but will be denied from doing so again. This is another money-making round for Avangar, or it should be. Most of the time it will be. Deagles and the odd pistol, the odd grenade rather. Everyone's got a pistol. Bell being rung. Another flashbang on the way, and Kikat's able to fall back. Got support from Buster should it be required, but they're content with what they've done so far in Banana, and they will allow Mousesports to walk up those cobbled steps.
More attempts at damage. Doesn't look too good here. And I'm starting to wonder if we'll see a repeat of Train, because Avangar looked indomitable on their CT side of Train. They had a really good CT side. It was impressive. And again, we're seeing, as Eric said, very confident CT side Inferno from Avangar as well. They look really good right now. But that T side,
that's the problem.
That's where it gets interesting. Oh, Oxic, he's done some damage. Anything else to be had? He inspired me to raise my sense back to where it was. Because I did make it a bit slower before. Just making an adjustment.
I'm surprised that someone who has played at a professional level for as long as you have still changes sensitivity. I would think that a constant would be better.
Well, in Quake, I didn't change it really at all. And it's the same as I use in Quake. It's just because I started only playing CS so much. I was like, in CS, does this feel the most comfortable? I should experiment a bit to see what feels better in CS. So that's the reason. But I have played with an enormous amount of setups, but we can go into that later, as we do have Mousesports once again vying for control here in Banana.
Through the smoke they go. No one lost early, which is good for Mousesports. They've lost 6 rounds in a row by being deleted. And that tree position has been woeful for them. Woxic lucky to survive that second HE grenade. And Mousesports will look to overwhelm, it seems, towards the B-bomb site. Molotov maybe lined up towards the new box position. Counter smoke, beautiful spray from Kika. Could go through the smoke. Plenty of flashes from both sides. And look at the songs Avangar are singing on the B-bomb site. Mousesports don't want to hear it, and what remains will run away. They've lost the bomb as well. There's a minute on the clock, and they're almost in a saving position. A wide swing from Fitch, and Rops is the only man standing at the moment. Gone to do the washing.
This is so funny that they've like almost forced Mousesports, as you say, to save at like 40, 50 seconds left, which you rarely ever see. It's almost like Avangar are like forcing Mousesports to be one of them. Now you're one of us. We've assimilated you like the Borg. You're one of us now. Saving with a minute to go on the T side of Inferno.
Yeah. If they do it 4 rounds in a row, then I'd be concerned.
Yeah. 4 rounds in a row. Yeah.
But Vanguard, I think one of them, who is it? Is it Fitch trying to sniff him out, trying to find the kill? But he's not going to find him because Rops is not there. Rops is in the kitchen.
Actually, very quickly to your previous point, James, I actually made a podcast which I haven't released yet because I need to tinker with it, specifically about changing settings, because a lot of people ask me about it, and a lot of people do it for the wrong reasons. And some people say, oh, you should just never change stuff, which as a rule of thumb doesn't necessarily make sense. If you need to change something, you should change it, but you know if you need to change something. That's what people struggle with.
Is knowing.
Most people decide emotionally, which is not the way you should be doing it.
Meaty grenades. Avangar's utility usage has been outstanding so far in this half.
Wow. Wow.
20 HP, haven't seen a soul. Poltergeist.
That is really significant, honestly. Both Frozen and Chris J just absolutely crippled. Do you prefer 2 players heavily tagged like this, or would you prefer that damage distributed on 5? Because on 5, then it's just like the orcs become like AKs.
That's a good point. I'd say on the 2 players would be a little better, just because of that point with the M4 headshot.
I would rather have it on more damage on less players. Because I think those guys are more likely to die. And then, depending on the situation, less players, more positions.
Ooh. That's a big kill because Rops was there to sort of lurk and delay rotation. No rotation will be delayed. Kika forced through the flames. They had a double quad setup or new box setup, and that absolutely destroys. That Molotov destroys that entirely. So Mousesports with the perfect placement of that one piece of utility to make their lives very easy. And Avangar, they have lots of money, so they should definitely go for this. A 3 versus 4. The utility is lacking, which is a benefit of the way that Mousesports played this very slowly. And in fact, Avangar recognized this. And even with that kill, they are not going to go for this. They are just containing their opponents. And they're going to make this hurt as much as possible for Mousesports. Their objective here is to make sure every single Mousesports player dies. And I think they may succeed here because they've got a really strong setup. Most of Mousesports are going towards, well, they're all going towards Banana. And there's James, and there's Fitch. They must know the other two players are there. Fitch, is he going for it? He's trying to find them. And they can't find the remaining two players. But they did a pretty good job.
I love that they don't run to their doom and just contain. The discipline is pretty good. It's pretty awesome.
I was looking for a Vanguard because when I saw those two people play by that new box, I was looking to see if they had a smoke on themselves for that Molotov, because obviously the new box spot is one of the most common Molotov spots in the B-bomb site. It's usually the go-to spot for a Molotov. If you have extra, that's a bonus, but usually that spot, go-to Molotov. So maybe if you're playing with such a risky setup like that, maybe bait setup, someone might have to have a smoke. I don't know if that's too telling, but I mean, whatever they did right there, it didn't work.
That's a really good point. Yeah, that you should perhaps modify, like, if have smoke, can play this position.
Yeah.
Go all if statement on it.
Because on this map, or in other maps, there's a lot of situations like Pit is one where you will always see a Pit player with a smoke ready that Molotov.
Oh, Chris J was doomed there. Just had a complete lack of position, and Carrigan gets taken out as well. Back to winning ways for Avangar. And they're looking to secure the economy for the remainder of this half as well of this round. 5 versus 3. Potential 10 rounds on the board for them on their CT side, which would be really strong.
Yeah, if you consider they lost their first 4 rounds, that's pretty huge. And look at this push coming in from the back. Kika's going to just stab him in the back of the face. Oh. Only one to die, but it's more than enough. Mousesports looking kind of, against Avangar at least, looking kind of flat here on this T side of theirs. And Avangar are indeed confidently marching towards 10 rounds. And it'll be half buy from Mousesports, or do they fall? They should probably just force just twice in a row here, because they basically have the maximum loss bonus. And if they get a bomb plant, they can do a full buy anyway. So I'm surprised they don't double force, considering that they could get a pretty strong buyout here, honestly, and well, they're not feeling it. But James.
Hello. Welcome to my Hall of Pain. New entrant. I've got a plaque just for you.
And it's pretty much the MO of Vanguard. Get a kill, fall back. Get a kill, fall back. Come to the gauntlet. I'm right here. No, I'm not. I'm gone.
It's like Avangar are playing Orcs Must Die. There's like set up traps everywhere. Nothing is safe.
Oh, such a good setup.
Well, the deletion continues. The grand deletion of Mousesports. 1 round at a time. Avangar having a fantastic CT side. This is not too surprising from them. They're very comfortable on Inferno. Mousesports don't look likely to... Well, they're not going to solve the CT side of Avangar in this particular game, but they'll have some evidence to look at for the future. Now you move into the last round. Will it be 10 rounds on the CT side for Avangar? Got a Krieg for Chris J. No snipers for Mousesports. Carrigan 1 for 10 at the moment. Chris J not much better with 3 for 10.
Now 3 for 11. They're really struggling.
Yeah, Vanguard is not really giving them too much. Kika going more aggressive than he needs to, but again, the utility usage has been really, really good for Avangar. If you try to take Banana, it comes at great cost.
At least Mousesports are able to get the opening kill onto Key Kurtz and create a 4 versus 4. It's a better scenario than they've had for the majority of this half. Flashbang comes out to keep things simple there. The balcony pop. Sanju gets excellent amounts of damage. Almost takes down Rops as well. So now Fitch is going to look to finish things off. Down to 1 HP. Woxic as Rops burns. And that bomb still needs to go down. Woxic defends with 1 HP. is for his third kill. Frozen around the corner, and he's nailed it, at least scraping a 6th round, a desperate 6th round.
A surprising 6th round. Look at the scores on the doors. Very solid half for Avangar. Mousesports have it all to do in their second half coming up after the break.
No balloons.
And
for you.
welcome back. So that was a pretty quick one, but here we are. First shot from, well, James dead. Okay, there we go. Focus, James. Focus. I need more coffee.
Breathe in.
Lack of sleep makes it hard for the brain
Into the nose, out through the mouth.
to function properly.
Need more oxygen.
When I've had lack of sleep as well, football's not going to go well. Got football this evening, but let's look at the game that's being played right now. We've got grenades going in towards the B bomb site. Mousesports trying to hold on to these 5 men, trying to keep them alive. More grenades flying through from Avangar. It's a flashbang to come, surely. Perhaps not fast enough. 2 players lost on B.
Yeah, it's looking awkward here for Mousesports. They couldn't quite find that good moment to go in. I think the flash is one of those moments, but it just didn't seem to land. I think Avangar managed to just get the kills, as you say, just before it popped. And so that really stifled the push completely. But it's a pistol round. Headshots can still be found. It's Rops against 4, though. And I don't know that it's all that possible here. He's backing away, wants to conserve his perfect health in Kevlar. Doesn't want to trip to the ER. Wants to stay healthy. However, he is going to be running straight into Keycut. You wouldn't expect Keycut right there on a pistol round.
No.
The fact that he's immediately rotated through Banana into the back of A is quite surprising. Anyway, Avangar, they start off with the pistol, and what's interesting is I kind of expect this to look like Train, and we'll get like a 16-14, and that's predicated upon Avangar's T side being much weaker than their CT side, and Mousesports CT side being much stronger than their T side. So. But we'll see how this plays out. Avangar with the triple Mac 10. Ooh, what a wide peek there against Woxic. That right eye peek. God damn.
Too good.
It's not too bad, is it? Not too bad. I feel like I'll always be talking about that the rest of my days in Counter-Strike now, until they fix it.
Mousesports running out of steam in the flames on Banana. 2 Deagles and a scout to deal with. Rops is Arch. Rops is alone. Another one bites the dust. Mac-10s jumping around. They've got a lot of the information that they need. I don't know if that rotation from B was heard by Kika. We've got some dings, we've got some dongs. Carrigan is alone in the CT spawn position. Is that one of those skins that's supposed to show some kind of depth on the side of it? I'm not sure, but I don't like it.
Which skin?
The Deagle that Carrigan had. I'm not a fan.
Make your own skin.
11-6. Mousesports on Eco. I mean, we had a great comeback on Train and they were confident. I'm not convinced on Inferno.
Yeah, Inferno's T-side just a little easier than Train. You could easily work picks a little better, and you could use a lot less utility to isolate to kind of get these picks. On a map like Inferno, you could use one smoke and complete isolate middle. Train, you need 2 or 3 coordinated smokes and flashes to even attempt to do some wild random peek.
Ooh. Nice defense there. Coming in from Avangar. All those chunks on the walls.
Right.
Chunks of death. Alright, Fitch will get the bomb down. That will signify an end to the round effectively. Robs will get a couple in for good measure, but it will be Avangar standing tall with 12-6.
Look at Kiker, 20 kills again, being the consistent top fragger and just all around
He's
hitting the gym.
He's looking rather good, isn't he?
Juicy.
He is looking
He's been lifting.
strong.
Lifting the juice.
Getting all the advantage they can get.
So you can get in that testosterone. Become more aggressive, stronger, faster.
She liked that smoke that he threw. It's enabled him to get on top of the logs in case if there's a Molotov thrown at his feet. And provide a one-way almost, so
Yeah.
I like it. A little something new.
I like that Molotov damage as well. Again, I think it makes a pretty huge difference just chipping away at the HP.
I'm scared, you know?
And they're going to go for a retake of Banana here. That's a beautiful play from the likes of Mousesports with a great nade to follow it up, but the defense is even better for Avangar. They're the ones that get the kill. And more, importantly, Mousesports get some information, but the problem is that Avangar's pacing is so slow that play from Mousesports came too early. And the information that they got for the death of Chris J, it's not even worth it because Avangar's pace is so slow. So that's the only issue with that play for Mousesports. Against most teams, timing probably works out pretty well, but Avangar, they're a slow team.
35 seconds remain. One, but only one. Rob's falling off the balcony. Woxic has support. Surely Avangar can't do this. Woxic's going to be in a strong position. He's exposing himself to a short area and he gets taken out. Thought he was repositioning for cover just in case, but here we are. The bomb's being planted now for Avangar. Will somebody stand up for Frozen to shut down? No, the smoke will deny him, but does allow him to make his way through. Is it a trap? James looking, haven't found. Now they know where he is, and Sanji can reposition for a potential double pick. There's a flashbang easily avoided, closing the distance. Frozen up on the box, but he can't quite get the frags. 13-6 for Avangar.
Indeed, it's looking pretty smooth at the moment, but I mean, at the same time, just again, the timing of this play, I do think is a really, really good thing to do. I mean, you have to do it on Inferno. You have to get aggressive with banana retakes and top mid retakes, because that's the way that you deal with defaults, and it's the way that you deal with a team that's very drilled. When they execute onto the site, you want to make it difficult for them before they can do that. And so you do have to go for those aggressions, but we can see that against Avangar, it's difficult to find the right timing, and it's backfired for Mousesports, unfortunately for them, and they need something pretty remarkable in this round, honestly. They've gone for this half buy. They've already lost Chris J, though. He's not having a good game. Carrigan and Chris J really having a poor game. Robs as well. You know, they're really struggling to frag. And that is by nature of the utility usage, the timings, the team play, the pacing of Avangar has just been solid.
Executes into the B bomb site. Carrigan still alive, trying to find another one. Damage has been done. Frozen with the pot shot through the smoke. Woxic will hear a player. Oh, could he get two? That's unbelievable. Pulling out the AK, but he can't fire a shot in time. 2 versus 2, kick at 48 HP. There's not much to lose for Mousesports. Surely they go for this. Frozen, Scout, and no Kevlar. Spots some Jame, but doesn't get a kill. Kick it through the smoke now. Round the circle he goes. Round construction, but Jame will get that final frag. And Avangar looking... They're absolutely brutalizing Mousesports. Look at their string of rounds. Just one for Mousesports in I don't know how many.
Yeah, I think Frozen actually got
it. Sorry, Dan. I think they've won 14 of the last 15 rounds. Avangar.
Yeah. But yeah, Frozen got a nice double there with the Scout, which you don't often see. But
what's the timeouts for Mousesports, man? How come these teams aren't using timeouts? Is there a coach in the server? They don't care?
Maybe they talk really fast and they don't need one.
I doubt that. There's like 3 different languages in that team. There's no talking fast over there. Slow English. Probably broken English, who knows?
Maybe they don't want to stew in the juices of defeats and negativity.
The juices of defeat. I don't even want to know any more about that.
The spoils of war.
The juices of defeat. That's up there with chunks of death, man. The juices of defeat. Bloody hell. Secretions.
Lactations.
That's too far. 4 versus 4. We've got a minute on the clock. Avangar moving up the short position. They're in apartments as well, but I say as well, now it's just because Sanji's been taken out. Fitch has got a kill position known. Where is the bomb, though? The bomb is on James. James on short. Hasn't been seen just yet. Maybe popped up on the radar. Slight elevation looking for Rops, but Fitch will be the one to find him. 3 versus 2. All the Mousesports players have rotated now to the B-bomb site. I say, oh, it's just 2 left. Chris J and Woxic moving forward. Sound cue's heard, but there's no... Fitch with the flank. Do they go back towards the A-bomb site? He's cleared it, but Woxic is here. He can hear Woxic. I don't know if you want to chase. 27 seconds. This is absolute carnage. They're committed to it now. James taken out. Surely you want to rotate. The bomb's been lost in apartments. He's rotating. Woxic is everywhere. 2 kills for him, and Fitch is on 4 HP. He hasn't picked up the bomb just yet. Now he has. Ooh, don't jump off the balcony. The sound cues are there for Woxic. Moving up with the smoke. No fear from him. Woxic is all over the shop. Surely they had the sound cues of him going back towards the A site. If I hear him A, I'm going B.
Oh my goodness, what a round by Woxic. He had no reason winning that round, but he just pulls out a Christmas miracle and literally just outplays 3 of Avangar's players. Such a Jamie in the halls with the bomb. That's why you don't give your AWPer the bomb, ladies and gents.
Yeah, you want to avoid that if you can.
Let him AWP so he doesn't have to worry about planning, okay? And I just can't believe he actually won that. Just turning 3 one-on-ones. Why not?
However, in the scope of the entire match, it's still a very bleak outlook for Mousesports. Woxic needed to go get a clutch like that to keep them away from Avangar, away from game point. So, what else have they got? What does the rest of Mousesports got? Needs to be more than just Woxic, and Bus is looking to make life complicated. Chris J with the MP7. It is so characteristic of Chris J to be wielding that weapon. Good chip damage from the Molotov, actually. And Chris J will remain in position, which might overcommit this banana defense. We'll see if they stick around. Okay, the smoke is still up, so they'll be okay to fall back to the site. But look at the utility. A minute to go. At this point, only now an HE left. The smoke was just deployed onto top mids. There is nothing, even a single flashbang to defend a B push. This is ideal for Avangar. Even though they're down a man and there's a 3rd person coming in to help the B defense, this is so ideal for Avangar.
Many targets spotted. And there's distraction run, frozen up top, Chris J round the side. And there's life in the old dog yet. It's a Vanguard's turn to taste the deletion. Taste the scent of deletion.
That timing of Woxic coming in was absolutely perfect. If he is, a couple seconds later than that, the smoke's down on CT, he doesn't get the opening pick. There's a player to trade frozen, and the Avangar likely get into the bomb site, and Woxic's got a much harder job on his hands. Counter-Strike's so interesting in that way sometimes. You get that one kill, and that can just mean everything, just making the lives of your teammates significantly easier.
14-8. 6 rounds might not be so many, depending on the nature. It all comes down to the fashion in which Mousesports are winning the rounds. Is it comfortable? Is it consistent? I think there's a lot of variance that could potentially be had the way things are going at the moment. So, well, this is some downtime, or it should be. I say that. James has an AWP, but then so does Woxic. So we'll see how it works out. James, battle sniper time. Probably have to wait out the initial grenades and smokes and things from Mousesports. 3 Molotovs around the banana position. Nothing doing just yet. James going towards the boiler area. Nice if you can bounce a molly under porch. No one's there, and you can swing wide. Sure, there's a small percentage that somebody's on top of porch, but small percentage, sometimes you'll take that. So, on Dust 2, you can often find James peeking mid, looking for somebody to peek for information. He's essentially doing the same thing here with this angle. Does he? There is no... I don't believe anyone's on the balcony on this occasion, but if there was, would he have the flick? No, Rops is looking at the balcony. And they will bide their time, just waiting for this utility to dry up. There are still 2 smoke grenades for Mousesports. Woxic's on banana, he doesn't have one. And he's about to fall back because of this flashbang. They're going to reposition it, it seems, from the stairs of T-Ramp instead. The common flashbang, there it is. Woxic with great timing for the Molotov, though, which help him hold his position, but maybe he's taking this for granted because Kikat's gone beyond the angle. Surely there's a trade there, and now they can try to rush the B-bomb site.
There's a big rotation coming in, and they only have 1 smoke, but that's of all the retake utility, the smokes are amongst the most useful. But Kikat, he's doing the damage still. He is such a menace. Double AWPs on the B site defense. That's awful to go up against with no flashbangs and not enough players. So Mousesports will have to give this one up, and Avangar, they are consistent. They're consistently looking very strong. From Mousesports, they rely on clutches and clutch plays, clutch timings, but Avangar consistently getting the advantages and playing them out really effectively. And Mousesports looking like they are lacking here today on their Inferno game against Avangar.
Yeah, that was a blunder move by Woxic and Banana. There was like 30 seconds at most on the clock when he went for that aggressive B peak. You don't have to do it at the time. You're up in numbers. You have superior positioning on them. With 30 seconds left, just fall back, man. You just gotta fall back. And him dying lost him the round. They gave up not only an AWP and a kill, but the entire bomb site for them to get AWPs. You hate to see like a very, I guess, newbie mistake for a professional player.
Game point for Avangar to bring it to a third. The third would be Mirage. Walking through the flames, Frozen. That's a giant gamble to take. So much damage before he even got through to the other side of the choke point, and Chris J will fall to those same flames. Memories of Cloud9 on Overpass. 3 versus 3. The B-bomb site still held by Carrigan with 20 HP. There's still a chance for Mousesports, but the only utility they have is 1 flashbang. Rops is towards A. We've got a rotation from Woxic towards that B-bomb site. Woxic alive might be the key. There's that flash used up, and it's all about guns now for Mousesports.
Indeed, Woxic's in a good position. It's not too much. There's still some flashbangs and some smokes here, so they can make his life difficult. But James probably want to go for the peak first. He may not expect that to be. Oh my God, the timing is awful for Woxic. That is so deflating. But Mousesports, there is still a chance, despite how bad this looks. Carrigan on an off angle, second oranges, looking to see if he can catch Jame. And he, oh, I thought he had that one, down to 4 HP. Now it gets impossibly difficult for Rops. Coming in from Banana, no utility to be seen. Not a kit in hand either, so... And the off angle from Jame, that will secure it. 16-8 Avangar tie up the series, and we will be going to Mirage after all.
The teamwork for Avangar looks so much better than Mousesports, especially their CT side. They're always peeking together. Their flash and Molotov work in Banana were superb. They mixed up timings. They mixed up just how many people push. Avangar is just all over their place, but on their CT side, it just looks so solid all around, just like they're on the train map.
Yeah, I think they should look more solid, all things considered. That is a stark difference to the first map. Definitely answering back on their own pick of Inferno. Some nice highlights from Woxic,
Wow.
but plenty more frags from the likes of Jame and Kika, which were top fragging for their squad. Really important stuff for them. This was a lovely highlight from Woxic in a lost game. That second last frag was so satisfying. Just a player in the air, took him out like a clay pigeon. And so, just like that, we are back again. Avangar are fighting for that final place in the European part to make it to the land, to make it to London. They and Ninjas in Pyjamas are both vying for that final spot, and we're going to be watching all that action today again. ECS.facer.com is where you can find tickets if you want to make it to the finals. Get down there if you can. If you can't, then find out who is going to make it there. We'll be seeing the third map between these two shortly after the break. But indeed, there are student discounts as well. If you're a student, there are discounts available for the finals. If you're a pensioner of any kind, I've decided there are discounts, so send me a tweet if you know how to use Twitter. If not, then maybe there are no discounts for you. See you after the break for the third map of this best of 3 series, Mirage.